Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Tutorial Time by KU. So today are going to discuss about memory. Okay, so what is memory? Basically memory is the part of your computer where your data or information gets stored. So what is basically data or information? That whatever we are giving to the computer through any of the input devices like your keyboard, when we type something, or using your mouse you give some instructions by clicking, okay, or any other methods are there by which you are giving input, or we can say data or information that is going to get stored in your computer. Okay, so that is called as the memory. So basically your computer is having two types of memories. So we can call it as the first one as the primary memory, and the second uh, type of memory we can call it as a secondary memory. So first we are going to see what do you mean by a primary memory. So it is also called as the main memory of your computer. The other name for it is also called as the random access memory or RAM, or also called as the primary storage. Now why we call it as a primary storage? Because whatever we enter in your computer initially, if it is not saved, it will be always there in the primary storage. Okay, so it is also called as a memory, which is a temporary type of memory. Okay, if you don't save whatever is there in your primary memory, it will get lost. Okay, so data can be read, that is retrieved, and returned, that is stored in RAM by CPU. Now what is CPU? That is the central processing unit of your computer. Okay, so that is also called as the brain of your computer. So it will be having the instructions, it will be having the program that will be executing the instructions. Okay, so whatever data that we are giving to the through the input devices to your computer, and whatever results that are being prepared by your computer, that will be displayed on your screen, that is your output device. Now all the calculations or the processing, we can say, that is done by your CPU. Okay, so first whatever we are giving, that needs to be stored somewhere, that will allow your computer to do the work, or we can say the processing. Okay, so that part of the computer is called as the primary memory, or we can call it as a random access memory or temporary memory. Okay, so it is also called as a temporary memory where data is stored for some time. Now why some time? Because whenever we save uh, our things, whatever changes, whatever things that we have done on any of the file, when we use the save or save as option and we save that things, that will go to the part of the memory that is called as a secondary storage, or we also call it as a permanent storage. Okay, so if you want to store anything that can be used for, in the future, or if you want to share your things, your files with some other person, it needs to be saved. Okay, and it will always be saved in the second part of the memory that is called as the secondary memory. So your primary memory, you can call it as a rough book, where we can do the rough calculations, we can say, where your computer will be doing the processing, and after we finish, after we save our work, it will go to the permanent storage that is called as the secondary memory. And the last thing that we need to know about this primary memory is that the amount of RAM, that is your random access memory, decides the speed of your processor. Okay, more the RAM, the more the speed will be there of your processor. Okay, now you can see this is an image, or this is a picture of random access memory, or we can say the primary storage. So we can look at this picture and we can say that this is the RAM if you have not seen. Now the second type of memory that we are going to discuss today is the secondary memory. Okay, so as we have seen earlier also, that the secondary storage is the permanent storage. Okay, whatever we save in our computer, that will always go to the secondary memory. Okay, nothing is stored in the primary memory. It is just like a rough book. It is just like a rough work or the space that is used by your computer to do only the processing part. Okay, only the calculation, or we can say the intermediate things. Okay, and whatever final things or final um work that is been saved in your computer, that is saved permanently, we can say, that is always there in the secondary memory. So the secondary storage is used to store data programs when they are not been processed. Okay, so if you are done with your work, if you are done the uh, we can say any updations on the files, you can use the save or save as option, and you can store your data or your programs. Okay, so that can be used in future. Okay, now if you don't want to use update anything, you can save that. So here the files are always there, and only when you, if you delete them, then only they will be they will disappear, or we can say they will lost. Okay, so unlike primary storage, your secondary storage is not directly accessible by your CPU. Now this is one more important point that we can say about your secondary storage. Okay, so your primary memory has direct access. Your CPU can directly access the primary memory. Okay, but it cannot directly access the data or the files that are stored in the secondary memory. So this is the one more important point, or one more important difference that we can discuss about primary memory and secondary memory. Now the third point here is the computer usually uses the input and output devices to access secondary storage and transfers the desired data using the intermediate area in the primary storage. Now what do you mean by this? So intermediate area, now for example, your primary memory is the memory that is directly accessed by your CPU. Okay, so whatever data is there, for example, if your file is on any of the secondary storage device like hard disk, we can say, so your file needs to come first into your primary storage, then only your computer or your CPU can do the processing. So first the secondary storage device, for example your hard disk, if the file is there, it will be copied into your primary storage, then only whatever changes you are doing, that will be done, and whenever you save, it will be again copied back to your secondary storage. For example, here we have taken the hard disk. Okay, now the last point here is primary memory is limited in size, whereas secondary memory can store as much data as necessary. Okay, so there is some limitation for primary memory. Okay, so this is the, we can say, one of the drawbacks we can say of the primary memory. So we always have the secondary storage or secondary memory where we can store many files. Okay, so if you are having many of the images, many videos that you need in future, so you can use the secondary storage devices, or you can say the secondary memory, to store the data. Okay, now secondary storage devices. Okay, so now here we will look what are the different types of storage devices, basically the secondary storage devices. So they are basically divided into three types: magnetic disk, where the example is the hard disk. Hard disk is always there in your computer. Okay, so that is, we can call as the main secondary storage device of your computer. So whenever you use the save or save as option, uh, it will by default, it will go to the hard disk. Okay, and the second one is the floppy disk. Now floppy disk nowadays we are not using, because it was having very limited size. Now the second type of secondary storage device here is the optical disk. Okay, now the optical disk example, we can take the CD-ROM or the DVD-ROM. Okay, so this is the CD or the DVD that we are using. And the third type of storage, that is secondary storage, is the flash drive. Now pen drives, everyone of us are using this pen drive. Okay, now the pen drive is called as the flash device, or the flash, we can say, secondary storage device. Now here I have given the images. Okay, now hard disk, the first image is of the hard disk that is inside your CPU, inside your computer. Okay, and the second one is the external hard disk. Okay, now external hard disk, this you can attach whenever you require, and if you don't need now, you can remove that. Okay, so that is an external hard disk. Now after that I have given one more image of the floppy disk. The first one is the image of the floppy disk, that is a rectangular box type secondary storage device that were used initially many years ago, we can say, and they were used to store the data. Okay, now why we are not using them? Because they were the memory capacity of floppy disk is very less. Okay, we can say very small amount of information or data we can store there. And now the second image that I have shown you, that is the floppy disk drive. Okay, so this is the part of the we can say this was the part of the device or the drive where we used to insert the floppy disk. Okay, and it could retrieve, or it could store the information, or we can say it can operate the floppy disk. Now after this, this is the DVD, or we can see the CD. Okay, all the images are of the DVD or CD. Okay, only some are memory capacity, we can say, that is different here. So already many of us, or we are using them, so we know. Then this is the pen drive. Okay, so this is the, what is the advantage we can say of the pen drive? That is um, removable also, and we can carry them portable. Okay, so portable feature means what? We can carry them. Okay, whenever, whatever, anywhere we can say. Now the last type that we are going to see, that is the Blu-ray disc. Okay, now what is the Blu-ray disc? The capacity of Blu-ray disc is very high, we can say. Okay, so one Blu-ray disc is almost equal to 5 DVDs and 35 disc CD capacity. Okay, so such large amount of data can be stored in one Blu-ray disc. Okay, so there are many variations you can see. Now this was all about primary and secondary memory for today. I am Prajakta and this is my channel Tutorial Time by KU. Okay, if you want, if you have any suggestions or queries, or if you want to see any other some other videos, you can click on the link given below. This is a Google form. You can post your queries, your questions, or you can directly mail your queries, questions, or any suggestions to tutorialtimebyku@gmail.com. Okay, thank you. Please like my channel, subscribe, and uh, give your suggestions and feedbacks. Thank you.